everyone, welcome back to my online YouTube channel. I hope all of you are fit and fine at your place. So we are back with this poem, that is Foreign Lands, and this poem is written by Robert Louis Stevenson, who was born in Scotland, and he was fond of traveling a lot, and he has written many famous novels and poems. So here in this poem we will read about a child who is trying to climb a cherry tree, and who has climbed a cherry tree in fact, and he is trying to see many other different places which he has never seen before. So the name of the poem is Foreign Lands. The very first word which we come across here is foreign. So what do we mean by foreign? Foreign means something which is outside our country, which is not a part of our country. As this name is Foreign Land, so here we are talking about those lands which are outside one's own land. Okay, so in this poem the poet is talking about the lands which he has never seen before. So we will read this poem. Okay, now let's read this. This is a poem that describes what a child sees as he climbs to the top of a tree. To a grown-up, the things he sees may seem ordinary, but the child finds them exciting. Means if any grown-up would see those things would appear to him very ordinary. Like if I will talk about myself, to me all those things about which the child is talking in this poem, all those seems to be ordinary to me, very normal, very casual, but for the child all those things are very exciting. So the child wishes to climb still higher and higher in this poem. Let us read the poem to find out what he sees. So in this poem we have 5 stanzas. Okay, we will read each stanza one by one and I'll explain it to you. Now let's see. Up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? So in these 2 lines the child is asking a question to himself and he is answering it also. Okay, up into the cherry tree. So which tree he is talking about? There is a cherry tree. So the poet, the child, he is saying, he is asking that who should climb that cherry tree? No one but me, but little me. Little me means he is talking about himself. I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. So while climbing the tree, he held the trunk. Held means holding something. Okay, so he held the trunk. What do you mean by trunk? Now see here in this picture. This is the trunk of the tree. Okay, so he is holding this trunk very tightly to climb the cherry tree with both his hands, and looked abroad. Abroad here means in all directions. He looked all around. Okay, on foreign lands. So he got to see all those places which he has never seen before outside his land. Once he climbed up that tree, he was able to see the other places outside his area. Okay, so now in second stanza, what all things he saw? I saw the next door garden lie, adorned with flowers before my eye. So what he got to see once he climbed up the tree, he saw that in his neighborhood there was a garden, a beautiful garden, and it was decorated. Adorned means decorated with flowers before my eye. Means he could see a beautiful garden decorated with flowers. Means it was blooming with flowers, full of flowers, colorful flowers there, beautiful flowers. He could see this garden in front of his eyes, which he was never able to see before, and many pleasant places more that I had never seen before. And he was able to see many other beautiful places from the top of the cherry tree, which he had never seen before. Then in third stanza, I saw the dimpling river pass and be the sky's blue looking glass. Then what else he could see there? He saw the dimpling river. What do you mean by dimpling here? Dimples, you must have heard someone saying that once some person laughs, he or she got dimples in his or her cheeks, right? So we get dimples in the cheeks once some person laughs. Okay, so the same way, you must have seen the river flowing. It flows like this. I have drawn it here. Okay, suppose this is a river. So do you see all these ripples here? ठीक है, so these are just like dimples. ठीक है, जैसे हम कहते हैं टोए पड़े हैं तो इनको हम dimples बोल देते हैं. Okay, so the river flows like this. So the poet, that child is saying, I saw the dimpling river pass and be the sky's blue looking glass. So he could see that dimpling river flowing. Okay, and how he has compared the river? Here in this line he has compared the river, means river is a non-living thing, and this dimpling is related to the living persons. Okay, so he has compared the some non-living thing with the action of the persons with the living things. So here the river is personified. Okay, the river is personified. Here you must have heard about the personification literary device, okay, which is used to personify anything, any non-living thing. Okay, like here the river is personified as a person with dimples. So river is personified here in this line. So the same way in second line, the river is compared with the mirror. यहाँ पे रिवर का कंपैरिजन एक मिरर के साथ किया गया है. वाई? बिकॉज द रिवर इज जस्ट लुकिंग लाइक अ मिरर. ओके, अ ब्लू लुकिंग ग्लास, एक मिरर की तरह लग रहा है. वाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज ब्लू लुकिंग ग्लास? बिकॉज ऑफ द रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ द स्काई. स्काईज कलर अपीयर्स ब्लू. सो जब उसकी रिफ्लेक्शन पानी में पड़ रही है, ठीक है, एज द रिवर फ्लोज वाटर इज क्लियर, तो उसमें वो स्काई की रिफ्लेक्शन की वजह से उसका कलर जो है वो ब्लू लग रहा है. तो दैट इज वाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज ब्लू लुकिंग ग्लास. ठीक है, सो हेयर इन सेकेंड लाइन द रिवर इज कंपेयर्ड विद द मिरर. ओके, देन the dusty roads go up and down with people trampling into town. What else he could see? The roads which are full of dust. Why they are full of dust? Because the people are walking on those roads, and those roads are not well constructed roads. Okay, those roads are just full of dust, and when people walk on those roads, everywhere the dust is scattered in the atmosphere. Okay, so that's why poet is saying the dusty roads go up and down with people trampling into town. So when the people are walking on those roads going into the town, they are entering the town, the roads get more and more dusty. Okay, as they are not well constructed. Then in next stanza, if I could find a higher tree, farther and farther I should see. Now here in this stanza the poet is making a wish, the child is making a wish. What wish he is making? If he could find a higher tree, अगर उसको इससे भी ज़्यादा हाइट वाला ट्री मिले, कोई चेरी ट्री से भी ज़्यादा ऊंचा कोई ट्री मिले, farther and farther I should see. He would be able to see more farther, means he would be able to see the farthest places, okay, which he is able to see. He could see many more places from there to where the grown up river slips. Now which all places he could see? To where the grown up river slips. Grown up means that river which is mature, which is at the last stage. To which rivers do we call as the rivers which are at last stage? Which goes and merge into the seas. जब जो रिवर है वो समुंदर में जाकर मिलते हैं तो वो उनकी लास्ट स्टेज होती है. ठीक है, सो टू वेयर द ग्रोन अप रिवर स्लिप्स into the sea among the ships. So the poet, the child is saying, he wished to climb up even a higher tree, that higher tree which is higher than the cherry tree, so that he could see farther and farther to where, which places, where the grown up river, जो मैच्योर हो चुके हैं रिवर, वो कैसे जाकर समुंदर में मिलते हैं among the ships, जहाँ पे और भी बहुत सारी ships हैं, ठीक है. Then in last stanza, to where the roads on either hand लीड ऑनवर्ड इंटू फेरी लैंड. ईदर हैंड मतलब दोनों तरफ, जैसे सपोज यहाँ पे पोइट है, यहाँ पे चाइल्ड है, उसके दोनों तरफ रोड्स हैं, ठीक है. सो ही वॉन्ट्स टू सी ऑल दोज प्लेसेज ऑल्सो वेयर द रोड्स ऑन हिज बोथ साइड्स. ये दोनों तरफ रोड्स जो हैं ऑन ईदर हैंड का मतलब दोनों तरफ जो उसकी रोड्स हैं वो कहाँ पर उसको लेकर जाती हैं, फेरी लैंड में. सपोज यहाँ पे फेरी लैंड है, चाहे वो इधर से चला जाए चाहे उधर से चला जाए, ये एक फेरी लैंड में जाकर मिलती हैं. वेयर ऑल द चिल्ड्रन डाइन एट 5. और वो एक ऐसा फेरी लैंड है जहाँ पे सारे जो बच्चे हैं वो एट 5 o'clock अपना डिनर करते हैं, ठीक है. वेयर ऑल द चिल्ड्रन डाइन एट 5. डाइन का मतलब दे हैव देयर डिनर एट 5 o'clock. एंड ऑल द प्ले थिंग्स कम अलाइव. और वो ऐसा फेरी लैंड जहाँ पे जितने भी खेलने वाले टॉयज वगैरह हैं, जो भी सारे बच्चों के टॉयज होते हैं, जो फेरी लैंड्स आप कार्टून्स वगैरह में देखते हो या एनिमेटेड मूवीज में देखते हो, उनमें जो फेरी लैंड्स दिखाते हैं उनमें इवन जो टॉयज वगैरह भी दिखाते हैं वो सारे ऐसे लगते हैं कि जैसे अलाइव हों, ठीक है. दे आर जस्ट डूइंग एक्टिंग by wearing different costumes and to entertain the viewers, okay. So in this fairyland all the children dine at 5. they take their dinner at 5 o'clock. और ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पे सारे टॉयज जो हैं वो भी ऐसा लगता है कि वो सारे अलाइव हैं. ऑल ऑफ देम आर अलाइव, जैसे वो बिल्कुल जिंदा हो, ठीक है. So they just act like the human beings, okay. So that is all about the poem Foreign Lands, and here in this poem we have 5 stanzas. So I will just take a quick recap. In the first stanza, the poet is trying to see some beautiful places outside his own land. How? By climbing the cherry tree, okay. And then what all things he saw? He saw a beautiful garden adorned with beautiful flowers. Adorned means decorated. And he also saw many more beautiful places which he had never seen in his life. Then what else he saw there? He saw the dimpling river, ठीक है. And that river was just acting like sky's blue looking glass. means river को किसके साथ compare किया गया है, mirror के साथ, okay. Then the other things which he saw were the dusty roads which goes up and down. Why they were dusty? Because they were not well constructed. Then he is making a wish that if he could find a higher tree he would see farther where the flowing rivers, the mature river, the river which is grown up, that ends up in the sea among the ships, and to where the roads on either hand would take him to the fairylands where all the children are taking their dinner at 5 o'clock, and all the playthings, they seem to be alive. They are just acting like human beings, okay. So I hope you have understood this poem, and I will get back to you soon with a new chapter. So all of you go through this poem once again and do watch this video. So I'll get back to you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good day.